What's up YouTube, Capital G here, got a little tidbit of news and information for you guys to check out in this video. And actually, let me correct that, some potential news and information, because the first thing we're going to talk about could end up being illegitimate, and I don't want you guys blaming me by saying, Cap G, you said it was confirmed. I'm not saying it's confirmed. I'm saying that it is possible that we may have the first leak from the upcoming Dual Overload set. Which you guys are looking at is obviously Fantastical Dragon Fantastical, but you may notice that it is not in secret rare foiling. This means that the card cannot be from Savage Strike, and it appears that this card is going to be getting a reprint in Dual Overload. You guys can see right here the set abbreviation and or set number. We also have the card number. Now, I do have to point out, once again, just for people who weren't listening to me and were way too focused on the Fantastical reprint, that this could be illegitimate. It was posted on Zodiac Duelist, or Zodiac. It was posted on Zodiac Duelist, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Facebook group, and then it just pretty much spread like wildfire to every single corner of the internet, but it's not confirmed at this point. I would like to see more pictures of this card, maybe see it from a couple more angles, but if you guys want my personal opinion, I believe that this is real. I believe that this is an actual reprint of Phantazmay. One of the things that sells me on this being real and it definitely not being fake is the fact that this card behind it appears to be a Malefic card that we don't have in the TCG. Unless I'm mistaken, this is Malefic territory. In fact, I think I got it pulled up on YGL Pro. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is this card right here, Malefic territory. You can kind of see the Malefic Cyber and Dragon. You see like the way that the card is. Also, if we look right here, we can see that it says Mao. I'm pretty sure that this is you know, the Malefic Cyber and Dragon. I think that that is the card behind it. We don't have that card in the TCG, so if this was faked, it kind of feels like they would have had to fake two cards. Who would go through the trouble of doing all of that? I'm pretty sure that the Cubic cards are coming in this set as well. If the Cubic cards are in here, it would make sense for the Malefic cards to be in there, because all of those archetypes were played by characters from like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movies. Import them all at once. I feel like that would make a lot of sense. So I'm pretty sure that we are going to get Fantastical as a reprint in Dual Overload. Also, if this isn't fake, apparently the secondary market does not know it, because Fantastical has already dropped about $20 in the last, I don't know, 24 hours because of that picture that is floating around. You see the copy, 45 bucks-ish, when it used to be over $60. And it's a card that's seeing like moderate amounts of play in the meta game. There's actually a copy even cheaper if you want a German copy. Look, in my opinion, I feel like this is a reprint that Konami should probably give us right now. If you really think about it, this makes a ton of sense. Number one, Konami can kind of look at the community and say, see guys, we gave you a super high expensive card. We just gave you a $60 reprint. You guys got to be happy. You got to go out there and buy Dual Overload. But when you really think about it, what is coming right around the corner? Like, Dual Overload comes out, and then like 2 weeks later, what do we have? We have Master Rule 5, if I'm not mistaken. That means a lot of decks don't need to play Link Monsters anymore. And guess what card is not going to be nearly as good in Master Rule 5? That's right, our buddy Fantastical Dragon Fantastical. So I kind of feel like Konami probably knows that they eventually do have to reprint this card, because it is a fairly expensive card, especially for budget players. But you don't want to reprint this card after it has absolutely no relevance at all. So I kind of feel like Konami is scrambling for an opportunity to give us Fantastical and you know, potentially sell a set as well. Maybe it could have landed in like an OTS pack, but those are not packs that are actually sold. So I guess in business sense, it might not make a lot of sense. But yeah, I can definitely believe that this is Fantastical, not just because of the card behind it, but because of just, I don't know, like logical sense. If Konami is going to give us a Fantastical reprint, they need to give it to us fast before Master Rule 5 starts. Half of the players stop playing Link Monsters, and then this card is like, I don't want to say useless, because Fantastical is a +1, strong body, targeting, protection, all that good stuff. But I just don't think it's going to have the relevance post MR5 that it had in MR4. So I feel like it definitely would make sense. I don't know about, you know, extravagance. People are going to ask, well, Cap, if they're reprinting stuff from Savage Strike, does that mean extravagance is in here? I don't think Extravagance is going to be in here. I feel like Konami is going to wait and try to make that like one of the key cards to sell another reprint set. Maybe it'll be like one of the big cards from like Battles of Legends or something like that. Anyways, in some other news, the UDS series is officially coming to a close. Rest in pepperonis. You guys know we talked a little earlier about some of the changes that Konami was doing when it comes to like the TCG. Konami's doing so much crazy shit right now, to be honest. Announcing there weren't going to be any more, short printed cards and core booster sets, and the fact that they were ending the current structure of sneak peeks and special editions, all that stuff. Well, it looks like the UDS series is also on the chopping block. If you guys have ever been to a UDS, it seems like it's the best kind of high-end duelist to, I'm not sure exactly how to phrase this. Basically, the quality of player, I guess I'll say it this way, the quality of player is incredibly high at UDS events because it's kind of like a YCS, like a real big tournament, but it's an invitational event, so it's an invite only event, and it's based on how many points that you have. It's basically supposed to be harder essentially to win than like a YCS level event, just because everybody there is really good. Even at YCS you may have a larger population, but some of the players at YCSs are just players there to troll, have fun. They're really not that good. Now, it looks like Konami is announcing that after 5 years of the UDS program, they're bringing it to a close. So the UDS that's going to happen next month on Valentine's weekend, if I'm not mistaken, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Also, there's going to be one 2 weeks later in South America. These are going to be the last ones. There will be no more UDS events. And UDS were really interesting because the pricing at UDS events was absurd in my opinion. Not only could you get the UDS championship belt, which was like, I think it was fucking awesome. I know some people might not be fans of wrestling. Maybe they thought it was corny, but when you look at some of the other perks that you got for potentially winning all UDS, it seems kind of insane. Free entry to tier 2 events, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, for like the rest of your life, essentially. So there is no time frame. You just, as long as you're a living Yu-Gi-Oh player and not on the like banned players list, you just get free entry to tier 2 events. You get VIP seating at tier 3 events. I'm not sure what that means, VIP seating. That's something I don't quite understand. But this is the one that to me is just absurd. A 2-round buy at tier 3 events, and this is for the next 5 years. That's crazy. Now unless I'm wrong, tier 3 events does include Yu-Gi-Oh regional. So this means that you could enter like an 8-round regional and basically just not even have to play the first 2 rounds. You just get free wins. You don't even have to show up at a table or anything. You can go have lunch when all the rest of the players have to duel. You basically just get 2 free wins and 2 hours to do whatever you want. I thought about that and I was like, if you went to an 8-round event and you got 2 free wins, this means that you could go like 4-2 at the event overall and still end up topping. So to me, that is just absolutely broken. I would love that, to just go to regionals and start the regionals 2-0 before I even had to shuffle my deck. That seems incredibly good. Now it does say that they're still going to be hosting a program, and that the duelists will be able to participate in this program. They're going to be doing a special exhibition tournament in South California, but you do have to bring your belt for those. I guess, I don't know. What are the odds that a UDS winner is actually watching this video? I'm going to say that it's absolutely 0, but some people are wondering if the UDS event is going to be replaced by another tournament. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. Like, if you were just going to kill off the UDS, would you really want to replace it with something that was exactly the same? Seems like maybe you'd want to replace it with something different. I can actually see why Konami is getting rid of the UDS. UDS events generally have somewhere between 300 and 400 people, but Konami obviously has to staff them. They have to have a coverage team. They have, judges and Konami staff essentially like that. Kind of feels like if you were going to do all of that work for a 400-person tournament at max, why not just have a YCS? That's how I look at it anyways. If you've seen some of the numbers over the last couple of years, especially in Europe, even Matt Bell talked about this when Farfa interviewed him, you can get, like, some of those European events are pushing like 2,000 players. It just, to me, it kind of feels like if you're going to spend all of this time, get staff together, rent out a venue, why not just have a YCS level event? YCS bring in a lot more players. Yeah, the average player there might not be as good as the UDS, but to me, like, YCS events bring people into playing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! They bring older players back into the game. I don't think the UDS events do either, and I don't think You guys correct me if I'm wrong about this. I don't think there's a Dragon Duelist tournament when it comes to like the UDS events. So if you're a younger player, maybe you're just getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't want to just get completely mopped by the older duelists, who you guys know most of the good players in Yu-Gi-Oh are adults. You know, the Dragon Duel circuit is something that's awesome, and it can encourage younger players to play the game competitively. I don't think there's a Dragon Duel UDS or anything like that. So if Konami is going to get rid of UDS and they're just going to host more YCS events, that would definitely make sense. But we'll wait for an announcement to see if they're going to replace this with other events or if they've got something else cooking. Anyways, whatever you guys thought of all this information. Also, do you guys think Fantastical, do you guys think this is real? I think it's real, because this seems like a lot of work to put through or to put into for something just to be fake, to kind of troll players. I think it's personally real. But whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.